I'm honored and proud and humble to introduce you to the next panel discussion we're going to have here. It's called a drag panel. The talk prior to this one was with the organizers, the guys who organize the parties, like with the venues and the bookers. But now we're going to have a talk with the artists. So take a look at the artists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and of course, myself. Any day, anytime. You are a dance teacher, you do Zumba, you teach at the theater school. Why drag? Why drag as a medium to show yourself to the world?
Well, thank you for the questions. Hi everybody, I'm Anydee anytime. Well, I started drag as a medium to express myself, express my creativity. It's a very cliche answer, but it is like that. To express my creativity, especially to the audience. I'm a dancer, I'm a teacher, I'm a creative beast, I'm an entertainment beast. I like the expression of art to the audience. So everybody who knows me knows I'm a sweaty queen. When I'm on the stage, I sweat a lot like a pig. But it has a meaning. I want to give the audience something when they go home. They say, what entertainment, what a sweaty queen she was. And that's the thing, what I do, drag.
At Dshock, why do you do what you do? What is the message to the world?
Hi. I do what I do for express myself. And when I was younger, I started to paint my face and get ready because I needed to find confidence in myself, and this helped me a lot.
What is your message for the world?
Okay. Just be yourself, and you will find the way to be happy.
Well, hi everyone, my name is Loena. I am a trans drag performer. Thank you. And I do this because when I started to transition, I didn't see women like me in the media. I only saw trans women who were very natural, girl next door, which is fine, but that's not me. And then I learned everything I wanted to learn from drag queens: makeup, styling, confidence, everything. And so that way I slowly but surely rolled into the drag world, where I found a place where being a woman is not really something that has many rules or many things that you have to be like. I could be wherever I wanted to be. I could be like this and still be a woman. And then when I started to perform as well, I do like modern burlesque performances. I found a way where I could almost do something like a political act. Like the world, even Victoria's Secret is telling me, you're a woman, but you're not like the other woman, or you're not as beautiful, or you'll never be sexy. And then with my burlesque performances, I'll show the entire world, well, I might not be exactly the same, but I'm just as good, I'm just as beautiful, and maybe even more.
Yes, bitch.
Plus, this is a nice way to like borrow a lot of cool clothes from designers.
Oh my God, wait, literally. Also, can we just give it up for the fact that the two transsexuals came in like matching yellow feathers? What is that if not a trend motherfucking alert?
Well, I experience a lot of different things, because I do experience that in one way as a woman who performs in drag or in a drag world, I have to work 10 times as hard. I have to do crazy shit like this, which I like, but I have to do it to get the same reaction as someone who like Envy. Just an example, girl, I have nothing against you. No, That is not shade. Envy is a fucking talented girl, but I have to do 10 times as much to get the same reaction as she does, for an example. So that's one thing I noticed. But at the other side, I also do notice that because I'm trans, somehow it's easier for me than a cis woman to come into the drag world. Because somehow, because I was born a boy, I can do something the boys do. And for some people, it's also quite... they're not really used to it, like, okay, you want to become a woman, then why do you want to do something that normally men do? Because you want to be a woman, right? Well, I can do whatever I want.
Exactly. And I think also the idea that drag queens are men out of drag is so new culturally. It's so fucking new. Like, if you went back in time 15 years, drag queens would not be treated as men in their day-to-day life in the gay scene out of drag. They would not be. To do drag used to be to put yourself in a trans feminine category. That's not the case anymore because RuPaul made a very pointed decision, especially in the early seasons of Drag Race, to have frequent confessionals where the queens say repeatedly, I am a boy, I dress up like this, but I am a boy, B-O-Y, baloo, boy. And it's been successful to the extent that by aligning the image of the queen with the idea of a maleness, the idea of being a man, it has allowed drag queens, a large group of drag queens, to go on the show and move up a tax bracket, you know, get to a level of income and influence that would not be possible for them before. And it has everything to do with their aggressive avowal of maleness.
How do you perceive what she said?
I think it's kind of true though, because, for example, one of my drag mothers is Vanessa van Cartier. She's Belgium, and she's a trans woman now. But when she transitioned, she went, for example, from 200 bookings in a year, she went to two bookings in a month, because people didn't see her as a drag performer anymore, just as a trans woman. And she fought so hard to be noticed again in our community, and eventually talent wins. She's a fabulous performer, drag performer. She won Miss Continent 2019 now, so it's a big middle finger to everybody that said to her that she could not do drag because she's a trans woman now. So I agree.
I can tell you this, if we would swap clothes, Envy would still probably make the same amount of money, and I would be called a girl in her club dress.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Sletlana. Slet, it's a slut on Dutch. It sounds like an Eastern European name, Svetlana, but Sletlana. I live in Amsterdam, but I'm originally from Ukraine. Well, yeah, I started doing drag, of course, there when I'm being like 17 years old. It was kind of illegal because I started in the same moment to work in a gay club, and I was like 17 years old boy, but I didn't tell nobody about that. And after years and years and years, I was one of the 6 drag queens in Ukraine who went to the open gay pride for the first time in the whole history of Ukraine. It was in 2017. It was in 2017 in June.
And was it scary to go there?
It was like super motherfucking scary. Like, it was like a gay pride with like 2,500 participants, people who was participating in gay pride, and 10,000 policemen. It's just like human rights march. It's like really, really in the old way, I want to say. And yeah, right after that, in the same day, like after the 1 hour, I've been beaten almost till the death on the streets in the Kiev. And I went to the hospital in drag and everything, blah, blah, blah. And I think in 2 months after that, I just like flew away from my country here. So now I live here. I feel myself pretty much okay.
How is it for a person being yourself, having to flee your country for being safe? How does it feel?
At the first moment, it's hard. It's hard as fuck. But now I just like, after the 2 years of living here, I just realizing like, okay, I feel myself like actually I'm like in a different planet, you know what I mean? I feel myself like a different person because it's also like, for me it's like to change my mentality and everything and blah 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 and just like to adapt myself to the European everything. I mean, I feel blessed. Yeah, Mama.
You are blessed.
In the church.
Well, what's my story? At first, I will choose message because I want to bring the message to the audience who I want to deal with. So that's why I will choose the message. And my story, if you want to know, like how I started drag like 6 or 7 years ago. It was a really funny story. I was first a bearded queen, fully bearded, all the bearded.
I still remember.
And I was a club kid, started working in the different clubs in the reguliere Dwarsstraat. And slowly I started to see the change in myself on the drag subject. And I thought, this is a thing I like, this is a thing I love. So, and the most important is it gives me, drag gives me fucking life. I love it.
I would like to ask all of you individually, what's your next goal for next year, what you'd like to implement for the scene as being a drag or how you label yourself?
Who's going to start?
I feel like my interests are pretty immediate. I'm interested in helping like the girls in my family achieve their surgical goals, and I'm interested in like investing in my immediate community. I'm interested in like having family dinners and loving on my sisters. It's been a hard summer in Chicago. Two people in my queer family died this summer, both because they arrived in an emergency room in the middle of a medical emergency, and they were black and queer, and their care was not prioritized. And so I think my concerns are right now are very like immediate about my family in Chicago, and just like holding the girls close and keeping them safe.
Well, what can I say after something so beautiful like that? First of all, I'm going to continue what I'm doing already. I'm a big advocate for trans representation in media, trans, classes about gender in schools and stuff like that. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep fighting for representation for our queer community, because we still need that today. Like actual good representation, very important. And besides that, I hope to keep working in the next year on more space for all the beautiful, amazing, and talented women who do drags. I know a lot of them, and they never, ever get a place where they can perform. And thank God, thanks to Taboo Bar, I have a place where I can give a show once in a while, and trust and believe that I'm always, every single fucking time, I'm gonna give a stage to one of those amazing and talented ladies.
Yeah, low-key, this is my rule for bookings. If I am booking a night, it is maximum 20% male, it is maximum 20% white. So if I'm booking 5 queens for something, that means I'm booking 4 queens of color and 4 women or non-binary people. That is just the rule. It is easy to follow. It is easy to do. Pay the fucking girls.
I just came back to the school, so my plan is to finish my school. I'm doing fashion design, and to make my family proud, because when I was younger I stopped my school and I didn't finish. So now I'm focused to this for also to grow up as an artist, and that's all.
Well, the message, I was very lucky this year to do a TV show together with two drag sisters. One of my sisters over there is Hoax LeBeau. Give it up for Hoax. And that has been like the first time that drag queens had their own television show in Holland. And I think we were a very good representation of our drag community. And now with that exposure, I would like to be more visible, not only like for our community, but also for the straight people, so they can understand that what we do is beautiful, no matter how you look, or what kind of queen you are, trans, club kid, drag kings, bio queens, you know. We are so diverse and we are so beautiful. So I would like the straight community to see how beautiful we are and to respect us finally. Well, I like to, spread the message while making money. Right?
We can't neglect the material reality of drag queens. Like, drag queens are underpaid across the board, and like, we need money to be able to function, to be able to keep doing the work, to be able to keep doing queer world building. So like, money fucking matters.
Well, the fact that I moved here and I live here now, it doesn't mean for me that I just gonna like chill, you know, like smoke joints here, getting stoned in Amsterdam, like, you know, just live my life and like everything. No, I think like for the next year, I just gonna keep motherfucking fighting for everything and just like to spit in the people faces who trying to put other people in a triangle or like in any form that they want. You know what you know what I mean? Okay, like with any normatives, and to do everything to make the queer community more visible and to say that, to break the stigma around everything, and that the people from gay, queer community, wherever, they're not sick, they're not dangerous, and to say also to the people who lives here in the freedom countries that the people still motherfucking dying because they're gay, because they're queer, because they're drags or wherever. So it's just like beach fight.
Well, Marciano Dushi, I will try to keep it short. I will especially fight for our colored queens, especially here in Amsterdam. My experience is, especially with big name in the industry, big bookers, big events, they just tell you, we need a white face. Don't get me wrong, that's my experience, okay? We just need a white face. And that closes all the barriers for all colored queens who are especially in this industry, especially with payment, with location. It gives us a big barrier. So I will try to keep fighting, especially for all colored queens, because sadly, that is being done here in the industry. And just if we take it back, just the funny thing is, everything in dance music, drag, in contemporary culture has started with black roots. Sorry, don't take me wrong. Almost everything, okay? Almost everything. Don't take me wrong. Almost everything. So almost everything started with the black roots. So why push that away, okay? So I will try to keep fighting for our colored queens, especially here in Amsterdam, because my experience here is a little bit sad. But I see some light. I see some cracking light here in further away. So.
Yeah, wonderful.
I mean, I think the question is less how do we be an angel or a savior, and more how do we be an accomplice, right? Like, how do we follow the lead of the people who are doing the work, who are leading? How do we listen to the voices of young, disenfranchised, black and brown trans people, and put their voices at the center and put their needs at the center? You know, I think it's less about being an angel and imagining yourself as on high and more about getting on the ground and doing the fucking dirty work of organizing. I mean, I think drag queens need to learn more about how to organize their labor. I think that there's a lot that drag queens could learn from dancers and strippers about how to begin steps towards unionization, begin steps towards making a more standardized and safer workplace. And then I think that a lot of it is like, at this point, is sort of like in between being a whisper network and things being above ground. Like a lot of girls are just sort of talking about the ways that their experiences are difficult, and I think that that's important.
Any other drags want to respond on that?
If I take it to the subject of entertainment, if I answer your question, like an experience is treat us like artists. We're all amazing artists, especially, for example, a DJ comes here, gets champagne, gets taken to the amazing dressing room. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you get it changed in the cleaning room. And if it's so bad, you even get to do your talk outside. So treat us as the artists as we are, because we deserve better.
I have a question that's based on my mindset for, I'm also a drag queen and I'm the mother of the house, photographic host, and I chose to be a mother to focus on making my community stronger instead of preaching against like the heteronormative constitution, because I felt that in a way it was useless because it is too big of an enemy to fight. So I'd rather support my fellow queens, new queens. But because drag queens are so, or all queens are in a way oppressed, insecure when they start doing drag, and you want to look so damn good that in a way you look stunning, but you feel quite insecure. I feel that. So if you see like 10 other queens that already booked and are quite known, and you arrive there and they give you a compliment, you're like, yeah, thanks. And you stay in your corner, wait your turn, do your thing, be like yourself on stage and feel fucking fabulous. But we never have this kind of conversations when we are on a booking, because we are always talking about how fabulous we are and when we have to go on stage, but never these constructive talks. So what I'm trying to do with my house is, even when I'm on a booking, to have like a real, honest, genuine conversation. But I can't do that alone, so it's more like a question that you don't need to answer, but please help me do this, because you are all established queens with a voice, with an audience, with followers, to make it more real when you are backstage, when you are with new queens, invite them on the stage. I'm not saying that you don't do that, but that's what I just want to say to everybody. Yes, thanks.
Good question. How do we help our own community, like the drag community, the growing children? How do we help them? Growing superstars like we all were before. Good question.
Well, I have my evening monthly at Taboo, and I always try to book younger queens to showcase their talent. And I'm always been supportive to the younger queens. I've always been nice to them, because we should enjoy the growing process, you know? Not that it took me 3 years to be confident and comfortable with myself. So I totally get that when you started, you can look fabulous, but you don't feel it from the inside.
Just in my way, because what I felt when I just moved here, and I think Loena was like, I think you were like one of the people who remember that. One of the drag queens, Madame Madness, she posted in her Facebook about myself that I just moved here and like I'm in this kind of situation and blah, blah, blah. I even cannot remember how many people, like from drag queens, queer people, gay people, were texting me in Facebook and saying like, I can help you with this. Do you have the place to stay? Do you have something to eat? How do you feel? Blah, 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 and everything. So in my way, it's like, this is the power of the drag community. What's like really impressed me here in Amsterdam. So this is like something, you know.
And Loena, You've been on TV with your everything. You must be inspirational for a lot of children as well. So how do you treat your children if you have them? Can you tell something about that?
Well, I don't have drag children, but but I do hope to inspire a lot of people, even within drag. And whether that is by personally seeing them and helping them, or by just them seeing me. Because what you say, it's true, I'm also in media, and I get quite some messages sometimes about people, and especially trans people, who want to try to find their identity through drag. And I try to always talk with them about it, even if it is for just a little moment, because it can mean so much for someone to be open to have just a little conversation, to let them know that they matter and that you're listening. That can mean so much. And to the people around me, I tell them every fucking time when they do something good, even if it is just the slightest. And you know, if their wig is like, I don't know, if it is not glue right, you're not making a joke about it. You go and help them. You help the people around you. And I hear someone say, I can't confirm, because that's true. Someone is sitting right there who tried to find their identity through drag. And I remember the first time they came up to me, I did their makeup. I let them do them themselves. I look at them now being a proud non-binary person. So please give an applause for Philip right there. And what Snorella says is very true about the Dutch drag community. You know, sometimes we can be shady, but at the end of the day, we're quite close. Because I also have one of these stories. When I had my gender reassignment surgery, I had to live with my parents again, all the way in the south of the country, in the farm village. Very unhappy, because it's a very Catholic Christian environment. And one day, I lay in my bed, in so much pain, and I'm in the middle of a burnout. And there's knocking on the door, and in walk two of my drag queen friends, Lady Galore and Patty Pam Pam, in full drag, walked in full drag through my village with an entire basket that you would give at a baby shower with It's a Girl.
That's beautiful.
And it is with little things like this that you can already mean so much to each other. Just, I don't know, even with something as simple as borrowing a dress, borrowing a wig, brushing someone's wig. Just be there for each other, even in the little moments.
We are family, all of.
What better words than be there for each other? We are family, for all who love. Can we use to end this session with this fabulous people?